Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Band and Beers podcast. It is the only podcast that matches your favorite bands with our favorite beers. I am your co-host. It took 31 days to make Pat Zapp. They call me Pat Zapp 31. And I am here with my two other co-hosts. He's the man with the band. He's the Dan Man band. Dan McHenry. Dan, say hi to the people.
Pat Zapp, what's going on, man?
I'm doing good, man. But we're here with our other co-host. He's on a war. It's Dusty's war. It's Dusty Swartz. Dusty, say hi to the folks.
Hey, I love you. I love all of you. That's why I'm here.
We're here again, talking bands, talking beers. We're ready to start rocking and rolling and cracking and drinking. Dan, for the newbies, tell them what we're doing here.
All right, so we choose a band every week, and then we talk about the band, the history of the band, what the band means to us, and we each get to select a beer that we think represents the band to us. And after we've tasted all three beers, we take a vote amongst ourselves, and we decide which is the best beer for this band.
It's got the whole podcast world talking about it, Dusty. Bands and beers. What do you think?
You know, I think it's going to take the nation by storm, not by swarm.
Swarm.
You can swarm it and storm it.
It's going to be a swarm of a storm.
Yeah, because I think the two biggest things in this country are beer and music. I mean, if you look at that Super Bowl, I mean, I probably can't. The big game.
We just got sued. Thank you.
You know, it's all about that music and that halftime show. It's everyone's favorite part.
You're nobody till somebody sues you. Dan, we're all here, but we don't know what band we're talking about.
All right, this week I got to choose the band for the first time in the existence of this podcast, and I chose a band that means a whole lot to all three of us. We've seen them live plenty of times. We've sang the songs with windows down, driving down whatever road we drove down, singing these songs at the top of our lungs. We're covering the starting line today, guys.
Oh, I can't wait. You know, this is a great one, especially if it was the first one, Pat. I think you brought this up. You know, it would have made a lot of sense.
Because where do you start?
Blew it.
At the starting line.
The starting line.
This will be a great episode 1 if we can rearrange it that way. If we only plan these things out, this would have been a perfect number 1, and maybe it is. The first time you've ever heard this.
A really fun one to research. I was doing it and just really annoying Pat and Dan. I was just sending so many texts of like screenshots of like videos of the starting line that we're in. And you could just like when they're panning over the crowd, we're there.
We'll talk about that later when we discuss what the band means to us, especially as a group.
For geographical reasons, the beers might have a theme this particular episode. I'm interested to find out because I had a hard time selecting. But Dan, your pick of the band. So you introduce the first beer to the group.
Well, before we do the first beer, let's do a quick history, right, of the starting line. So Starting Line is an American pop-punk band. They were based in...
Where are they?
Philadelphia,
Get out of
Pennsylvania.
Here. That's where we're near.
That's right. They formed in 1999. The members of the band, Kenny Vasoli, bass and lead vocals, Matt Watts, rhythm guitar, Mike Gola, lead guitar and backing vocals. All right, here's a name that I'm having trouble pronouncing. Tom Griskowitz. Griskowitz, thank you. He plays the drums.
Grits,
yeah.
Right? You know, Gris.
And then a member that joined the band later on after their first album, Brian Schmutz. He's keyboard and does some backing vocals as well.
Yeah,
so
I heard a rumor from a guy I used to work with. He goes, that band, you know the story behind that band, right? They're like the Backstreet Boys of pop punk bands. You know how Backstreet Boys was put together by like some conglomerate, some guy, some fat Italian guy, just took a couple of cute guys and threw them in a band together? He told me the starting line was that. I don't think that's true, is it? Have you guys ever heard that rumor?
I had not heard that rumor.
I don't think it's true.
I could see Kenny Vasoli being recruited to be in this band. He actually was recruited to be in this band.
That's the story I heard.
Yes. He was recruited to be in the band via email at the ripe old age of 14. So the band's original name, here we go. The original name of the band was Sunday Drive. But they had to change that after they found out that there was actually a Christian rock band by the same name, which kind of makes sense, Sunday Drive.
Makes a lot more sense,
yeah. So, Starting Line, the name has no significance to it whatsoever. It's just the only name that all of the band members could agree on. That kind of a little bit of a letdown there. When I read that. So
it's a good name.
It's a little bit like Green Means Go.
Don't say that. Bleep that in the edit. I don't want that out there. That's my name.
So, hopping in, immediately right into the albums that they had. They were originally signed by Drive-Thru Records, which is one of my personal favorite pop punk record companies. So, they had an EP come out in 2001 with hopes of starting over. Songs on that album included Greg's Last Day, Three's A Charm. There's three of us. And they also did a cover of Starship's Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now, which it's one of my favorite pop punk covers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially at the time, like that was really when that was all kind of popping off.
Oh yeah.
And like they
Well
really
done.
hit it out of the park.
And there was a big commercial where two guys are singing that song in like a car or something. And I was like, I know all the words to this, and I didn't know how or why until I realized, it's
a starting line.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was their first little EP to get themselves signed by Drive-Thru Records. Yeah. And then their first big album that came out, Say It Like You Mean It. That's the album that we all introduced. I assume, and that's where a lot of our favorite songs came from.
That was definitely like where they started to really gain popularity,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I know we probably found them from Drive-Thru Records. Like I would just sit there and like refresh their webpage, like looking for new artists they signed.
Oh yeah.
I have come to know some of these bands later. I'm not a really early adopter on a lot of it. So I think it was not this, but maybe the next one where I thought they really kind of.
Oh,
wow.
Okay.
That's
One more thing to talk about with the Say It Like You Mean It album. I don't have the album with me right now because it got stolen out of my car at Temple University circa 2005 when my car was broken into and my car stereo was stolen. But the album cover featured a girl that looked a lot like Mandy Moore. I spent a lot of time looking at the album, trying to figure out if it was Mandy Moore. No, don't give me that look. I wasn't doing anything
Was it
nefarious while I was looking at this.
Was it Mandy
the
Moore?
album it wasn't her.
No.
But this was early internet age when you couldn't necessarily look up. You couldn't get that kind of information
The
off
girl
the
on the
internet.
couch.
No
Yep,
liner
girl on the
notes.
couch. I thought it was Mandy Moore for a while.
Yeah.
That was something that just interests me more than anything else. Shortly thereafter, 2003, they have the Make Yourself at Home EP. It's an acoustic album, playing favorites, Make Yourself at Home, and they did an acoustic version of Best of Me, which was very good.
maybe that's
I
not
enjoyed it.
Chef's kiss.
Maybe that's not the album I was
No.
The next one.
Next one, they get
is
signed to
based
a
on a
major.
true
They get
story.
signed to a major label, Geffen Records, based on a true story
Based
that
on a
came
true
out
story is when I
2005.
think- Yeah.
Woo, what a weird album.
Yes,
that was.
Making Love to the Camera, inspired by the dollar sign. Bedroom Talk, which has some interesting lyrics. And Artistic License was another song that really jumped out to me.
Yeah, what's really up with this album? I mean, this album is insane.
Yeah.
Like, these songs that they're talking about, like especially the lyrics, are really weird.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, I want to tear your ass up like we just got married and you're all mine now. I mean, it's like, it was kind of a catchy song. Very odd. Even at the time, odd to listen to.
The B lists inspired by the dollar signs, they're all like from a, I don't know, perspective of like what's going on. All catchy stuff.
Yeah, it was all super catchy.
All the albums are good.
Honestly, they're great at making songs. I think they're all very catchy. They do compose their songs very well.
They do compose a lot of good songs. They write good songs. And, sometimes we get into these conversation about what genre they fall into. And I think this one is a real easy.
Oh, this is a slam dunk.
This is a pop punk band.
Yeah. Oh, this is definitely a pop punk band. Yeah. At the time, we needed pop punk.
Yeah. I mean, the songs are good. The songs are catchy, but they got like it's a little boy bandish from, the lead singer like singing into the camera perspective of.
Yeah.
That and the bleach blonde dyed hair. That was very popular right around that time. Oh, well, although during
I didn't know
based
he
on
was
a
a 14-year-old twink over there.
Yeah,
I
he
knew
was.
he looked young,
Yeah,
but
he was
that
young
surprises me.
cat.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like those sweater vests. Real nerd, this guy.
Oh, yeah. So
Bass players are just always either the
right.
coolest guy or the nerdiest guy.
I like to think that I was both as a bass player. So
Lemmy's the coolest.
and I took a lot of
Kenny
my
is,
my stage
probably
moves.
only-
Yeah, I took a lot of my stage moves from Kenny as well. So if anybody's ever seen me play live, that it would come through that way. So
Dan plays live music. He gets
I'm
it
in a band.
every
That's
episode.
me. Let's do a name drop.
Mm-hmm.
So inspired by the $sign was a song about how they were fighting with Geffen Records, the major label that they were recording with. So it was kind of like a backhanded, we don't want you getting in on our music. So they jumped to Virgin Records after that. All right, the next album, 2007, Direction. I have the album right in front of me, gentlemen. Take a look at that cover. We got a blue sky.
Yeah. I have some
On the
thoughts
back,
about
we got a
that
blue
one.
sky as well. Every time I see this particular beer, I think of the Starting Line's Direction album.
Ah,
We have
a real visual one. here,
Levante
guys.
Brewing Company's Cloudy and Cumbersome.
So anyone who's not familiar with Cloudy and Cumbersome, this is an excellent beer.
It is a New England style IPA.
And so, what we're going to do now,
Let's drink a beer.
we're going to crack these bad boys open. And Dan will walk us through why this beer is the Starting Line. Hey, fellas, look at us, huh?
Cheers. So, Cloudy and Cumbersome. Cloudy and the words cloudy and cumbersome kind of remind me of, it's a heavy, murky, it reminds me of Starting Line songs where you're talking about teenage love or just love in general has always been, a murky, not a murky situation, but it's an unsettled situation. So that's the only reason the name could be tied into that. Levante Brewing is it's a local Pennsylvania brewery, so I wanted to make sure I was representing the Pennsylvania area. But more than anything else, it's the label that brings it to me.
Yeah.
It has always reminded me of the Direction album artwork. So that's the reason why. That's the main reason why I chose this beer, fellas.
Yeah.
What are we thinking of the taste?
I mean, I love this beer. This is one of my favorite beers right now. It's regularly on tap for me in my house.
Yeah.
And this will be my first time having it.
Okay.
And you guys know me. I have my challenges. I got dealt a rough hand in life,
Yeah.
the brain thing.
For people at home.
I got a brain that, it doesn't work the way normal brains work. I'm a little dyslexic. I'm handicapped, I was born without one of the cherished five senses. I don't have
4 cents death punch over here.
Can't smell very well. Born without a sense of smell. So I don't pick up on all the notes and all the things the way you guys do, but
Yeah.
I'm drinking this.
There's a lot of floral going on here too. I gotta tell you, it's lovely.
It is.
And I'm liking it.
Yeah.
It has
hits,
a great
it hits you with a taste right off the bat.
Yeah.
It's not one of these ones that catches you later and gets you right away, and then it hangs out for a minute.
You know what? It's cloudy and cumbersome. I think it talks to the mouthfeel of this. It's really pillowy. It's like you have that nice, I guess, pillowy feel on your mouth. Like it has like a softness to it as you're drinking it. It's not just like a real light beer. I mean, this beer is very well composed.
But it goes down easy.
This is not a light beer whatsoever. I think it's where is our alcohol content? 5.9% alcohol by volume. It's in hops included are Mosaic and Idaho 7.
So maybe you turn 21, you go to an island,
Oh,
you a third song that's on the album,
like
and then
it.
you crack one of these bad boys up.
Island, Are You Alone, and Way with Words.
You know, all great songs.
I love that Way with Words song.
So the next album we can talk to, I think, would lead into our next section, would it not? When we're talking about what the band means to us.
Yeah.
What do you think of that, guys? Or do you want to keep going with the albums?
No, that's I think like we can get right into it. I mean,
Yeah.
there's not a whole lot more left to those albums. I mean, we can talk through them.
but the next album is Somebody's Gonna Miss Us, recorded in 2009. Three gentlemen happened to be at that show because it was also recorded for a video as well.
Sold as a farewell show.
Sold as a farewell
It
show.
certainly was, yeah.
When you bought the album, it also came with a DVD. So we have video proof that we were.
And no, that's not me on the thumbnail on YouTube. That's some other guy. I was wearing a different shirt that day.
Yeah, I don't remember what shirt I was wearing.
But if you
you
go
guys,
to 4 minutes, 20 seconds into the DVD.
420. There we go.
In the middle of Greg's
crushed it.
last day, there's a nice wide camera pan.
That's right.
And you might see two of your favorite local PA podcasters.
That's right.
Having a great show.
Dusty
Having
and
a great
Pat
time.
always had a habit of running immediately to the front of the crowd whenever we went to a show, and I had the habit of staying in the back towards the edge of the pit because I prefer to enjoy watching people make all kinds of
Gotta get
physical
close.
abuse to each other.
What I love
Where
seeing
the
about
action is.
that video is that like Pat and I are like we're not the tallest guys in the world, but we are above everyone else. They're singing to us in that video. It's really just like we're having the most fun. We were making lots of eye contact, not just with that camera as we were watching it pan over us, but with the whole band. We were having a lot of good time.
That was a great show. That was Bayside, 4 Year Strong, starting line, closing it out
Amazing.
as the hometown boys on their
as
farewell
their
show.
farewell show. Yeah.
Great show. It's the first time I
excellent show.
ever saw them live. First time, like without even fully I didn't know the whole catalog at the time, and became one of my favorite bands after that for a long time.
Yeah. Amazing band.
Not even like being a super fan, but just to see that show. The songs were great.
Yeah.
The energy was great. And it surprised me that they recorded 3 albums and then decided to give it up. Was there any story behind that?
It was changing of musical tastes. Kenny went in a different direction. He had a solo project called Vacationer. That it's more experimental type music. I never really got into Vacationer myself.
I've listened to a little. We actually saw him live doing this solo tour. Me and Dan. If Dan doesn't remember, we were.
I don't remember that. Sorry.
Yeah, we were above the Khyber, so the second floor of the Khyber. And Kenny was doing a solo
I remember
show.
that club,
Yeah, that's right.
the Khyber.
So this was in Philadelphia, near Front Street, in like the old city area. There's this old like kind of rock and roll bar called the Khyber.
It's now called the Khyber Pass, right?
Khyber Pass Pub,
Yeah.
that's right. So now it's more of a gastro pub. Same kind of vibes in there. But
You might find cloudy and cumbersome there.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you would. It's funny that you picked Cloudy and Cumbersome because of the artwork. In my notes, I actually have that I think, as a whole, Starting Line has some of the worst album artwork out there. I think, like, their whole catalog. I just don't think it's that great.
The tricycle on the EP.
Yeah.
Tricycle on the EP.
Girl on the couch.
Girl on the couch.
Girl on
Could have been Mandy Moore. Fooled
Could
me.
have been anymore. There's just not.
Film stuff.
Film stuff
Mhm.
based
And
on a true story.
Then the
Make
side
yourself at home.
Yeah,
It's
this
a
looks
home.
like
Never even
it looks
seen
like we're
this.
in Dan's
It's the
basement
acoustic.
right now.
Yeah, we're in my basement. I still have a CD collection, so I pulled out all the old CDs
Yeah.
from it.
Old man McHenry.
That's
It just
right.
doesn't
And my
feel
CD
very
collection.
enlightened. Like they
Get
took
off my
any
lawn.
shots at all. It was just like, oh, yeah, here's a tricycle.
Well, somebody's gonna miss us. They got pictures from the
Yeah,
from the album.
it almost looks like a best of collection, which is sort of.
It was that night. I remember
Yeah.
he had come out. He wore a sweater,
that
but then
Argyle sweater
he
vest.
he got hot
sweater
pretty
vest,
fast, and
Yeah.
there he is wearing his button-up shirt. So they take a break for a while after that farewell show. They start coming back and doing Christmas shows. Sometimes it's in Philadelphia. Sometimes they did it in Sayreville at the Starland Ballroom once or
Okay.
twice. I went to a couple of the Christmas shows. It's awesome. I love seeing the Starting Line live. So anytime I see that they're playing a show, I tend to go there. When they started getting serious again after those Christmas shows, they released another EP called Anyways. Now, gentlemen, if you've listened to it at all, it's only 3 songs.
Mhm.
I love all 3 songs on it.
That's
Yeah, Anyways is a great song. Luck is an amazing
Yeah.
the closing song on that. I love that EP. I love when they play it live. And then this past in 2021, we had everything shut down because of COVID. Nobody was really doing shows, but they bands to kind of make a little bit of money started doing live, streaming shows. They did a set of 3 shows that they called the Live at Studio 4 shows, where they did webcast shows of playing based on a true story, front to back, direction, front to back, and then they did like a best of show. Recorded all the songs, and then ended up releasing those as albums as well on Spotify. So I listened to those a lot. The best of show it happened to be done live on Friday, January 29th of 2021, my birthday. So
Day of the insurrection.
that was not the day of the insurrection. So that was a nice little birthday gift for me. So I think that was Kenny just kind of saying, "Hey, I know you're a big fan. Here's a live
Nice little wink.
Yeah, you haven't been to a show in a while. Here's a nice little stream for you for your birthday."
I thought those Zoom shows were such a scam at first.
Yeah.
But now I think they're like, oh, that's fun.
Yeah. Well, that was a way for the bands to make money when they
Right.
they
But I
couldn't go
thought,
out
to
to
be
tour.
able to hold
who would
on.
want to watch a band like that? But then, like, I saw some and they were like, well, these are actually fun.
Yeah, I tried to
they're
finance.
they're
Anytime
worth
I
it,
heard
yeah.
one of my band, my favorite bands were doing a live show, I made sure to even if I couldn't watch it live, I'd
Because
watch it later.
I'm a podcast guy. I'll listen to a podcast. I'll watch a podcast. I'm one of those weirdos.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think like a band, it's about the energy in the room. So much of it is just like being there and just having all those people sweat on you. And, obviously, COVID changed a lot of that.
Yeah.
I only went to one concert after COVID and got COVID at it.
Hey, me
So,
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've been to multiple shows, but I went to This Is Hardcore Fest and I got COVID.
Yeah.
That
I
was-
went to both these shows. Both you guys did not get COVID.
You jerk.
Yeah, how's that work? I don't know. Yeah. It's
Huh.
funny. All those live albums, I didn't think they were necessary. I don't think they really added anything. But that Anyways album, I'm with you guys. It's a departure from what they sounded like. They completely different, and like the way I was listening to it in chronological order. So by the time I got to them, got through a lot of live albums, and I was like, this actually sounds right for them at this point in their lives, what they're doing, and it was really, I think. They knocked it out of the park. Not my favorite songs of theirs, but I think they really hit with me in a way that I was like, this sounds good for them.
Yeah, it was a nice progression.
Are any live albums good?
Yes. Kiss Alive.
Kiss Alive.
They were commercially they were not good until they released a live album,
Right.
and that's when they built a fan base after that album came out. Cheap Trick has a great album live at the stadium in Japan, Budokan, I think.
Budokan.
There's a couple other live albums that
It's a restaurant in Philadelphia.
Frampton Comes Alive. I have the record over there.
Do you feel?
Yeah.
Do you feel?
Like if you the songs that are on Frampton Comes Alive, if you actually listen to the studio album version of it, it sounds completely different. Does not sound good at all.
What about you? You think of any good ones?
Not a whole lot. I listened to the Juliana Theory live album a lot. I liked that one just because the energy reminded me of when I saw them live, which is better than their studio album, in my opinion.
I'll agree with that. They always put on a good show. I have another story to tell about that later on.
Yeah, there's definitely, it's hard to deny that Steam Bands live is often better, like especially like something that's more aggressive or a little bit louder. But no, I don't know if there's anything besides that. Like that's the only one in my life that I can remember actively wanting to listen to more than the studio album.
Right. Acoustic albums, for me, that's where it's at.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I like an acoustic album, and I like a cover song album.
Kind of like the Make Yourself at Home EP, the acoustic album that you love, right?
Yeah. But if we're going to talk about cover albums, we got to talk about the Starting Line being on Punk Goes Pop.
Yep.
Oh.
And what do they cover? The Jennifer
Jennifer
Lopez, Ja Rule
yeah,
classic.
I'm Real.
I'm Real.
That's an amazing cover.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
And it really takes you got to be pretty firm in the pop punk genre to do like a female.
Yeah.
I think Kenny can pull it off with
Hip-hop style
his vocal range
combined with
allows
the,
for that.
Yeah.
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 But then also doing like the rapping of Ja. I know it wasn't really rapping.
What I think about you,
And
be my baby, Smyrna.
Put it on there.
Nice.
That's what it is. Put it over. I don't want to be with you.
So
Ridiculous.
All right. So, what do you guys think? You think it's time to introduce the second beer?
Oh, what? You got a second beer?
I think
Ooh.
there's at least
oh
one
wait,
more
there's
beer
gonna be
pending.
3 beers. You're
Oh
right.
my goodness. Three's the charm, guys.
Let's
But
do it. All right,
here's
let's
number
take
two.
let's take a quick break, and then we'll come back and have beer number 2 and talk about what the starting line means to us.
All right. Well, we're back, guys, and I wanna take the lead next and introduce my beer.
Dan's
All
gonna. It's a tough beer to beat. You think you can do it?
I mean, I don't think I love this beer. This is one of my personal favorites right now. I think I have a little bit more of a narrative. My beer thesis, as I was listening to all these albums, their discography, if you will, I was really trying to get a good feel for them, and they charge out of the gate for me. That EP is just terrific. The next album, great still too. Some of the Best of Me is on there. And then Bedroom Talk, all that. They start to tail off a little bit, and kind of following their career is really what hit for me. And it's kind of a location wise. I wanted a Philadelphia area brewery. I wanted to find something that really felt like it was at home, but I also wanted something that kind of fell off. Like maybe they ran out of the gate so hard, especially when these microbreweries were really popping off. But then I feel like they kind of lost their lead a little bit. They're still good. You can still drink them, but there's not a whole lot more there. So I'm going to introduce my beer real quick. It is Dogfish Head 60 Minute. So this is a great beer. This is one of their first ones where they've really started to push the envelope. Let me introduce this.
Yeah,
Here
I'll
you go,
take that one right
Zap.
there.
This is a Pennsylvania brewery, right?
This is Delaware.
Oh, Delaware,
Or
sorry.
Hobeth, yeah.
Right near Slaughter Beach, I think.
It's close to Slaughter Beach.
I've been to this brewery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah.
So it was they used to do a lot of really cool things. They still do. It's not like they're not still making beers.
They have their own hotel, I think.
But it's not. They're just not leading beer like the way they used to. I think they used to be the name in microbrew.
Yeah, we talked about this on a previous episode, or discussed it at least, for the kids out there who only know the world of the never-ending supply of different kinds of beers. There used to be only 8 beers.
Yeah.
And then a couple of imports. There were all the light beers and all the regular versions of that. There was Heineken, Corona, and Sam Adams. Sam Adams was like an anomaly.
Oh my God, that has to be the actual OG. Of microbrews.
Yingling was I considered it a microbrew to myself just because
Right,
I got
but
to say
then
lager.
Chicago had Old Style and
Hams up there.
Ham. Everybody had their
There was
own
some regional stuff going on.
deal. But Dogfish Head was one of the leading breweries in microbrews.
Yeah, so I chose 60-minute IPAs because they're hopping for 60 minutes. This is a great flavor right off the bat.
Here we
It
go,
hits your
guys.
tongue really hard.
I mean, give us a swig.
Ching.
Mm.
6% alcohol by volume. Oh, Dusty's got a FaceTime.
Take the call on air.
Yeah, this is gonna be great. Let's see.
I think I'm on FaceTime right now. It's got the Dusty.
Oh, this is guys. I'm recording the podcast.
Hey, we're
so
on a
I'm gonna have to get
podcast.
going.
Hey, guys.
Hi. Yeah, you haven't found her.
Yeah, Nicole is
we'll
not
talk to you guys
here.
soon. See ya.
Dusty is currently trying to turn off the FaceTime. That FaceTime was brought to you by Dogfish Head 60-Minute
Let me
IPA.
take a drink of this.
Courtesy
while
of
we're,
Dusty.
Still trying to work out this phone.
So it's comparing Cloudy and Cumbersome versus the
Yeah.
60-minute IPA.
That was
60-minute IPA is very straightforward. It's got a good flavor to it. I enjoy it. Not as citrusy, I guess, as the Cloudy and Cumbersome. I would say. No.
No, not at all. This is definitely really hot.
It's your straightforward IPA,
And
which is good. I
when
like
they
it.
released this too, like there wasn't a whole lot of IPAs out there. This is really kind of dominating. I think defining what IPAs were, at least in this region of the country. Like West Coast had their thing going on up there. There was the Alchemist up in the Northeast. But this was, I think, especially regionally, like, oh, this is an IPA. This is really interesting. But since this, like they've done a lot of experimental things at Dogfish Head, but nothing's hit. They still have 60-minute. They have 90-minute. I wouldn't dare do 90-minute for.
They have some good
Storyline.
experimental beers. I can't think of them off the top of my head, but every once in a while, I'm in the beer store. I'll see like a Dogfish Head. There was some kind of record. I forget what it was called, and I don't even know what kind of beer it was. But they catch my attention periodically, mostly with their labels. I've already shown that I'm a label guy when it comes to beer sometimes. So
Dogfish Head. I don't know if it's. I can't find the exact particular beer, but they have the beer of the summer.
The Sequench?
Ooh, the Sequence.
The Sequence.
Ooh, that is
is
good.
this year's top
This year's?
summer beer.
Who claimed that?
Oh, the people have spoken.
Oh, the people. Just the people
I
have
mean,
said that? I mean, it's been my summer beer for
the
a
season
couple
is over,
years.
but Sequence.
That's one of my.
Sequence was the 22.
When it's summertime and I'm ready to sit outside and drink a nice good what I consider a summer beer, the Sequence is one of the. It's like a salty and also sour beer.
The additional of the adding of the salt really set it apart from those other like kind of lime beers out there.
Which sort of puts me in the mindset of the starting line.
Oh, nice segue. Look at this guy.
They're not moody and brooding like some of the other bands we might have discussed. They're young, fun. This is like main show, 5 o'clock at Warped Tour.
Yeah, I never got to see them at Warped Tour though. I wish I did, but some memories of shows. We got to go to their closing, their farewell show that wasn't a farewell because they're back. There was one time that I don't know if Starting Line was playing or not, but we went to the Trocadero to see Juliana Theory.
Yep.
With our buddy Tristan. I don't know if Dusty, if you were there or not.
I was.
It might have been the three of us, and so we're at the Trocadero. We're standing on the side. I think it's in between bands, and all of a sudden, like Tristan's leaning over to.
I heard this story. I love this story.
He's leaning over to tie his shoe, and all of a sudden, like some guy like trips over him while he's tying his shoe, and he looks up, and it's Kenny Vasoli from the Starting Line. And you know what Kenny said? Sorry. He apologized. He could have big timed them and said, you're in my way. I'm the lead singer of the Starting Line. But he said, I'm sorry.
Polite young man.
Tristan's kind of tall.
He is. But he was bending over to tie his shoe at the time. So
This is true.
yeah. But this is a story this is like folklore amongst our friends.
And these are the stories that you'll get each and every week here on Abandoned Beer.
That's right. It's one of Tristan's claim to fames.
A guy tripped over a guy.
Yeah. And he said, I'm
I
sorry.
parked there. That was my first concert I ever went to. Was that show?
How about that?
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't remember who else played that. I don't think the Starting Line played.
Was that Blindside that started? Because we did the...
Because the guitarist looked like Kev Ludwig.
Because his guitarist looked
guy
like
I went to...
Ludwig, yeah.
Shout out to Kev Ludwig.
Kev Ludwig.
Kev Ludwig, wherever you're riding your motorcycle, bro.
We hope you're hearing this, Kev.
So that's one of my favorite memories. Kenny Vasoli, and another Kenny Vasoli memory would be seeing he toured with Say Anything as their bassist for one tour. Yeah, got to see them at the Electric Factory. Went with a couple of friends, which included my friend Elise, who is obsessed with Kenny Vasoli.
Oh, weird.
She would have fathered his children if he offered. I assume. She never formally said that, but every time that I've gone to a show, I've gone to multiple Starting Line shows with her, and any time that Kenny's on stage, she is screaming at the top of her lungs, Kenny! Kenny! The whole show, she is yelling, Kenny. And to this day, anytime I see Elise, I don't see her that often anymore, because we've all had kids and moved along, but I always want to yell Kenny. I got to see the starting line back in December for the Christmas show, and I just throughout the show there were a couple times when I just yelled out Kenny to Kenny while he was on stage because Elise loved doing that, and it always stuck with me. So
I've heard you do it. Now I feel like I do it too.
Yeah.
So it's really been whispered down the line.
there you go. All right,
Kenny.
it's all thanks to Elise.
Yeah.
So if any of you ever see the starting line, please shout Kenny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you hear somebody yelling
Kenny!
Kenny, there's a good chance it's me.
Kenny!
In the Philadelphia area.
I feel that's the only places they play now. It's the last time we saw them, they talked about like playing in like Wisconsin or something, and like nobody showed up.
That's right.
And
You
they-
got to go where your audience is.
Yeah,
They're a Philadelphia band. They're
should just
beloved in the
continuously
Philadelphia
play
area.
it.
Yes. Yeah. So, anybody else? Any specific concert memories? Now, Pat, was that that farewell show? Is that the only time you've seen the starting line?
Yeah, and
How about that?
I went to that show because I think I wanted to see Bayside and 4 Year Strong.
4 Years Strong. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's for sure. We were way into 4 Year Strong at that point in time.
Right, but they only had one album, and Bayside is a band that I've seen out of the band I have seen the most. I've seen Bayside more than like any other band, just because
really?
I've gone to see Bayside, and I've gone to see other bands, and Bayside was on that show also.
Bayside,
They
it does seem
play
like it's been around.
tons of shows, and they're always amazing when they play.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
Shout out to Logan Casey, big Bayside fan. Just got married. Congrats, Logan.
Shout out
Casey.
to Logan Casey.
All right, make sure you listen, bud.
But that show was the first time I saw the starting line. First time that I really got into the starting line. And like you had mentioned earlier, how me and Dusty tend to sort of like head for that.
You bum rush the front of the stage
We
as soon
try
as
and
the
get to
band
that-
starts.
I would say we ride the wave.
You
We
bum
ride
rush
wave
the
of
first,
crowd.
and then at first, and then
We're swaying with
It's-
everybody.
Yeah.
Nobody even knows. We're just moving right in.
snaking your way, I guess, would be
We're
not in a
snaking our way
negative
in.
way, but that's just the way the body flows when you're making that move.
And I know that we're like older guys now and like got a little coins to the last show we went to. I think
Some
we
of
were
us
sitting in
have.
we were sitting in some luxury box seats or something like that.
Oh yeah.
But getting into the pit of some of these shows, even a pop punk show, it's not a fun experience. Granted, I understand that the Slayers and the Slipknots, they're more intense. I've been there also. But like that mass of people all scrunching together to get to the same area, you get elbowed and people are crowd surfing and like land on your top of your head and crunch your neck.
Yeah.
Like for me, I've always found more comfort being close, pressed up against the stage.
Because once you get,
I feel like
once
you get out of the shrapnel
Yeah.
area. You don't catch elbows as
You're-
much.
Everybody
above
who's stage diving
Yeah.
is going over you.
Yeah.
You're above
Yeah.
that metal gate, so you can actually breathe. So you're not like so hot. I mean, that's always what's most impressive is just the heat.
So I was interested in seeing the Bayside and interested in seeing 4 Year Strong.
The Bayside,
So I
the
was
4 Year Strong.
pretty close to the front. And I remember being like, I'm not really into this band as much. Like, what are they? Only got like 3 albums? And then behind me was a small girl going, yeah, they're my favorite band. And I was just, cool.
Great.
And I was still way in front of her, so she had to just deal with it.
I was gonna say that I was that small.
You were
girl,
that small girl.
yes.
Yeah. You were different back then.
I
You were a
was.
small woman.
Yeah.
And
Now I'm a
you're-
large woman. Thank you. So I think
Yeah.
we're ready for our third beer and also our next portion of the show. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in 1 second. And Pat Zapp's going to provide us with the beer.
Great joke, guys. Couple of great picks,
They'll never let us play that on TV again.
but reigning defending champion here.
Oh,
And I brought a
all the
beer
beer
for you
picks.
that I want you all to try. This is from the Iron Hill Brewery. Now,
Is that from the Iron Islands? The Game of Thrones, no?
nerd! Nerd! Now, much like the starting line, the Iron Hill Brewery is a franchise in the Northeast that does its thing and does it well. Maybe it hasn't expanded very far to say Wisconsin.
Right.
But they make a hell of a beer. They make a hell of a chicken sandwich. And I'm going to crack this one right now. And the particular batch we got going right now, I said, I saw these guys, and they became one of my favorite bands. And I think this band, in some small way, is a Philly favorite. So this is Philly Favorite IPA from the Iron Hill Brewery.
Favorite is spelled with a PH, by the way, too.
Yeah, in the stupid way we spell things. 6% alcohol.
That's right.
It's so funny.
It's a New England IPA.
Similar to what I did, yeah.
But
Ooh, it's got a kick, a little extra.
it's a little fruity.
It has a little something going on.
Just
in there.
like my boys in the starting line. They're not, and fruity with no
I get you.
derogative,
I hear you.
right.
not a negative,
Yep.
just a statement of fact. They're singing about girls. They're singing about heartbreak.
I love a little zest.
Come on, it can't be all Master of Puppets all day, every day.
That's right.
Yeah.
So Philly Favorite, Iron Hill Brewery.
6.7% alcohol by volume.
Yeah.
Maybe this one is a
And
little
now,
Cheers,
three's the
fellas.
charm.
Philly-centric.
We finally got there.
Description on the can: it's a hazy beer. This hazy beer may be considered a New England style IPA, but its inspiration is pure Philly. Brewed with flaked oats and wheat, this beer features tropical fruit. I'm tasting that.
That's
And
for sure.
resinous pine notes. Definitely picking up on that too. Almost as intense as your passion for the home team. Whether you're cracking one open at a tailgate or in your living room, you can just taste the brotherly love. Iron Hill Brewery, Philly Favorite IPA.
The kid did a better job selling my beer than I did.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, Philadelphians are notoriously passionate. That bad reputation we have, that's all from people from South Jersey. But the passion and love Philadelphians have for their sports teams and
The beer.
their sandwiches and their bands and their
Bands,
beers.
beers, the sweet iced teas, whatever everybody's drinking these days.
Right.
Those punks,
Water ice.
water ice, pretzels,
Soft pretzels.
soft pretzels.
Yeah.
All right, so let's what do we got going on now?
Well, let me get a little taste of this because
Pat's gonna drink a little more here. The Philly Favorite IPA from Iron Hill Brewery.
I can tell you what I like about this. They basically have a tattoo I have on my arm as the main logo.
Oh, is that your Phillies tattoo or is that?
No, this is my
sorry,
Philadelphia tattoo. No.
wrong tattoo.
Yeah, there's no baseball diamonds.
Dan, Dusty, and I all have Liberty Bells tattooed
That's
on
right.
us somewhere, somehow.
This is true.
I'm not loving this.
No, Iron Hill. I like that brewery, and especially for me right now, I have young children. Brewery.
Here he
babies
goes on
love
again about his
breweries.
kids.
They have
Oh,
one
they're so
on.
cute, guys. Can I
so
show you some
stinky
pictures?
What is that on
sweet.
Germantown Ave? There's an
There is
Iron
one
Hill Brewery.
Germantown,
I've
yeah,
been there.
exactly. Yeah, Dan used to live
In
in
your
Lafayette
neighborhood?
Hill, so
Yeah.
he knows the neighborhood. So in that Iron Hill, very welcome to my kids, and they will sit there and like kind of relax. So it's one of the spots we can actually take them and have a good time.
Babies love breweries.
And they can be as loud as
Babies
they
love
want. They want
breweries.
to start yelling at each
They
other.
got room
like,
to run around.
Whatever.
BLB.
Yeah. It's great, and there's usually other families there too.
Yeah.
And like they just kind of congregate at
I've
breweries.
been to the media.
Shout out to the Media Iron Hill
Media
Brewery.
Iron Hill
I got
Brewery.
mad beef over there. I can't go anymore.
Yeah.
You got the mad beef sandwich, I think, right? Oh no, different kind of beef. So.
Rat beef, yeah.
Yep. So, I think we've reached the point of the night where we do the we draft some songs, a beer draft song list where we get to choose our favorite starting line songs. We're doing a fantasy song draft.
We thought it might be
our
fun.
beer draft.
Yeah,
We
we're
thought
trying
might
it
be
out.
fun
Beer song draft.
Beer song draft.
Yeah, these beers are on draft.
Drink the beer.
because
the song draft.
this whole podcast is a competition. You can find the beer that perfectly describes the band.
I would say our friendship, part of our friendship is a competition. We're always trying to one up each
So
other.
wouldn't it be fun to see who could come up with the best 3-song playlist.
All right,
Oh.
let's do it.
With the starting line catalog, 3 picks, top 9 songs, playlist versus playlist.
All right. How do we pick the order for this draft?
I got an idea how we picked it.
What do you got, Pat?
What are you gonna, Rochambeau.
Yes, we kick each other in nuts.
All right, I'm wearing a cup. I win.
Whoever falls down first. How about categories? You guys are familiar with this?
Oh, yeah.
What's categories?
We select a category of something,
Jeopardy.
and then we name items in that category.
Jeopardy categories.
The person to not name an item, you're out.
I think I get it.
So if you freeze up,
Right.
you're out.
How long do you have to say it?
5 tops.
Well, yeah,
5
we'll
seconds.
be able to call each other out when you
if,
froze.
if you really once you
right.
hit that second octave.
That's right.
Category. First one out, your third pick. You win the round. You're the first pick. And I'm going to pick the category, and I'm going to say brands of shampoo. I'll go first. Head and Shoulders.
Pert Plus,
Herbal essences.
T-Gel.
Pantene Pro
Always
V.
got dandruff.
Biotin.
Herbal Essence.
I already said that, bro.
Already
You're
said
out.
it. You're
Dang it!
Oh, you're going last, you bitch. What a terrible.
Who said Herbal Essence? It's not fair. I wasn't listening. I don't listen to myself on these things.
L'Oreal.
Aussie shampoo.
Aussie shampoo.
Aussie's real dog.
No, isn't that the ponytail
It is like the pony, the horse shampoo that
horse
people
shampoo?
are using.
No, wait, is that Aussie?
It is. It sure is.
Brel.
I'm out. I have no more.
Woo! I won. First pick right here.
Last pick.
Dan, don't
God
fuck it up.
dang it.
All right, so Dan, Dusty,
Let me
First
guess
pick.
what he's going to pick.
Greatest song. I think this is all 3 of us our favorite song. I assume.
Tell me what you thought about when you were gone and...
No, that's not the song.
No?
Greg's Last Day.
Wow.
Greg's Last Day
I'm
is
so
my
mad at you.
favorite starting line song. So it is
You
my
guys wouldn't
first
even
pick.
like that song if I didn't like it.
That's kind of true. I only like that song because Dusty likes it.
I
He
like
makes
it
us all
'cause-
listen to it
No,
all the time.
I like it because it was on the EP, which is the
it's-
first album I got from the starting line.
The
So.
EP is by far the best. So I'm going to go with Three's a Charm.
Fuck you. Fuck you. God damn it. That's my fucking song.
This is what you get for not knowing your shampoos.
You picked the categories, bro.
Yeah.
You should have picked professional wrestlers or something. You
I
know.
would have loved to pick professional wrestlers, but you were fired against me. I'm so furious. Three's a Charm is such a good goddamn
I
song.
love that song.
And it's
I
the
love it.
analogy for my life, dude. I'm constantly trying to get over a 3-leaf clover that I thought was
It was
4. Best of me.
Yo, honestly, I would have.
All right, there he took best of me.
You know, if I didn't.
Tell me what you thought about when you were gone and so alone.
The best part about this is I would have picked Greg's Last Day because I thought it would have been picked and thought I was safe to get Three's a Charm on my second round
Wow.
here.
No, no,
and I
no,
would have
we
been
go-
fucking furious if I didn't.
I
get it.
thought Three's a Charm was a second-round pick that I could steal. But as a third pick, I'd have to take it just to make sure that I got it. Fucking mad, dude.
All right, here's my
Does
second
Pat
pick.
get to go again? Are we doing snake style?
Are we doing Snake? Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
that
right.
Pat gets Pat
Yeah,
gets his
Pat-
second
Pat,
pick.
you're up for
Wow. All right. Up and go.
Ooh, good one.
All right.
All you do is up and go. I was eyeing up a beer from 2SP. I wanted it to be my beer, but it was called Up and Out.
That's
And
pretty
I
good.
thought about just scribbling out the out and with marker just writing go, but
I'm a sucker for a first track.
yeah,
I'll fall in love with the first
that's a
track.
good one. All right, Dust,
and
you're
go.
up.
I just want to confirm something with myself real quick. I
All right.
have a list.
Oh, he's getting the nerd list down. I thought you had like 7 songs
I
on your
do.
list.
I do.
Weird.
So I'm gonna pick Saddest Girl Story.
Ew. You could have got that in the third round, dude.
Wow, yeah.
Yuck.
I
think
know.
I think I
know. I
last
have
part
a
then
third
passed
song
that,
that I
too.
really want too. So I hope it stays. Let's see with Dan with his second pick.
All right, my second pick, I'm going This Ride.
Ew.
Yeah, not even on my list.
Come on.
I love that
Possibilities.
song.
And let's see what other Dan's gonna pick Luck or something stupid next. Go
Now,
ahead.
this is another one of my favorites, A Good Night's Sleep.
That's a great one. That
Yeah,
one
amazing.
that's on my
So
list.
that's so
I think that's
actually
that's
so
a
good, it should
closer
be
of
mine.
a playlist right there.
Yeah, that's on. That's there.
How's that one go? Oh no, it's got that great line. 'Cause fate goes both ways.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
I might
good.
have had a. Well, so I'm gonna go Given the Chance next.
Good one. Good call. That's on my my list of songs that I was going to pick from.
Yeah. Also love that song. So it's really I went after the EP hard, is what I wanted to do as much as possible. I wanted to get like not including the cover. I thought that would be a little cheesy to pick.
I like the Say It Like You Mean It version of Given the Chance. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. Well, we're not. No one's perfect, Dan.
Nobody is. That's correct.
All right. So maybe we should go through some honorable mentions
Yeah, sure.
because
Did you pick your third song?
No, but that's going to be the climax of the
Okay, all right.
Can you just play with me, please?
Well, you're the only one who knows what the honorable mentions
Yeah,
are.
I-
Then.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah,
So
How can we do
after-
honorable
I'm
mentions? Yeah.
still just
We will let you proceed.
furious about Three's the Charm. I really can't get over it. I'm having a hard time over here. But there's a lot of good stuff on the board. We barely touched Direction.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, The Island is not a favorite of mine, but The Island is like heavy on the Apple chart for
Yeah.
this. 21's a good song.
Yeah.
I'm ultimately going to go with the Bedroom Deal. What's it called? Bedroom Talk?
Bedroom Talk.
Bedroom Talk.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
But Inspired by the Dollar Sign is great.
I had.
I only
that
have
up
one
there.
song
that
left
was
on
high
my
on
list that
list.
wasn't picked.
B-side is a good one.
Leaving, I think is the best next
Surprise,
song.
surprise.
Oh, fuck, I
I
should have
like-
picked Leaving.
Leaving. You want to
Leaving-
switch your pick? Your
No,
last.
Leaving's great, though. I also contemplated picking I'm Real. Because I've listened to I'm Real a lot.
I don't think we should be picking covers for
No,
this.
I love covers. I love
Okay,
covers.
That's fair.
I do too. Yeah.
All right, so let's do a little recap. Dan got away with Greg's Last Day because he's a son of a bitch.
What an opener.
This Ride,
Woo.
and then A Bad Night's Sleep. I went with
Good night's sleep.
a good
Great,
night's-
great.
Oh
way to
yeah,
end it.
sorry, I have really bad handwriting, and I'm like
Wow.
writing in a really.
You thought bad.
it was my own handwriting. I couldn't read it.
Really? Wow.
I was kind of I'm all scrunched up here for you guys. Three's a Charm, Saddest Girl Story, and Given the Chance. I think if I had actually
You
gone last
ruined your playlist. You
with Saddest Girl Story,
you
Yeah, he did.
crushed it
Wrong.
with Three's a Charm,
Yeah.
and then just piled
Took a dive right after that.
dog poo on your
well,
T-bone steak.
well, Given the Chance is real. I think
Given the chance is good.
I should have probably just went with because I
Leaving on that would be perfect.
yeah.
Please don't leave
Yeah.
without saying
Goodbye. Yeah, that might have worked better, guys.
All right, what do I got?
That's a good closer. song.
Pat said, "Best of Me." You know, they're probably their most popular
It
song.
is- well, it is their most
popular
song.
song.
Yeah. Up and Go, and Bedroom Talk.
Mm.
The one with the weirdest possible lyrics.
Yeah.
I own that album. That's probably their first album that I bought. I might have had some fun Napster experiences.
Look, you can still get
For
sued. Watch
all
yourself.
Our lives.
I just kind of felt like
Maybe just
they
in
wrote
my
that song to curse,
eye.
just to curse. Like they wanted to. Hey, we're gonna put a song with a curse in it, and anytime a
second
band like
part is the
blatantly throws a curse
hardest.
into a like a chorus, I always think they're just trying to.
Oh, this is annoying to listen to, huh? That was fun. We had
So,
fun with that one, man.
anybody-
All right, so
do we-
this beer is not good, but
No,
starting line is not
I've been making
Not a
it.
great band.
that good.
I've been making a disgusted face every time I take a sip.
Yeah, I'm trying it. I'm powering.
Each segment,
powering
I
through it.
crush the beer that we've cracked open.
Yeah, it's
so-
not hitting right.
No, it is not. And
Yeah, it's not hitting
your,
right.
your face is kind of clenched.
I
right
don't
now.
like it.
Iron Hill Brewery.
And
I
your
like
face is
going
kinda
there.
red.
Don't love their beers. That's
No.
you know.
It's
It's
a
fair.
fun little. You can get a good dinner there.
Yeah.
Probably better on a draft.
Maybe
for
it's
sure.
better
Yeah,
on
to can
a
it
little
up and-
bit.
Ultra
yeah.
cold, not frosted mug.
Yeah,
which
it's
presumably
good
they
to get
do.
a flight there, but when they can their beers, I none of them have hit for me. The ones that they've canned lately. So
All right, I'm ready to vote.
ready to vote?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
let's bring this to a vote.
Let's calculate our votes.
So a little beer recap. Boop, 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 boop. We have the Iron Hill Philadelphia
Photos
Philly favorite
of
IPA.
all the beers are available at the website Abandoned Beers.
AbandonedBeers.com.
Go to the website.
AbandonedBeers.com.
I'm also
Sign up
at
for the mailing list.
abandonedbeers.gov, bondedbeers.net.
Oh, look at you. You're covering all the bases.
It'll all direct right
Why
to the
not?
home
Yeah.
base.
Yeah, you put it in wherever you want. You'll get there.
This guy is a marketing genius.
Dogfish Head 60 minutes. And then Dan's Levante, Cloudy and Cumbersome. Definitely
Which
the
is
best
which
drinkable
also
beer.
doubles as the album cover of Direction.
But as I like to have stated, terrible album artwork all in all. So.
No, don't ruin the moment, okay?
All right, guys. So who wants to go first? Who wants to pick first? What's your what beer are you going with, Pat?
I was reigning and defending champion of the Abandoned Beers
Yeah,
podcast.
this is gonna be a one and done. It seems like.
Yeah, possibly. But, we can't select our own beer. So
Wait, we can't select our own beer?
we cannot select our own
come-
beer
Serious?
as a matter of principle.
It's a gentleman's agreement.
I
there.
wouldn't have picked my beer if I didn't think it most accurately described the starting line. So out of the two of yous, while I did select or contemplated selecting a member of the Dogfish Head family to be my pick, so I do appreciate where your
Yeah.
head was. I think Dan did most accurately find a beer that not just the album cover, which to me is erroneous. You could throw away the album cover.
That's how it relates.
Throw away the
Hey,
can
we
of the
can
beer
we can
to
relate our beer.
I'm talking. It's my pick for me to discuss. While Dan's pick was erroneous in nature, I do feel his beer does most accurately portray the starting line.
It's
feel
not,
the
it's not
vibe.
fair.
Still talking. Still talking. Dan, I picked Dan's.
Thank you. That was Cloudy and Cumbersome.
A little,
Levante Brewing Company.
Commentary on Pat's pick now that he's done. I don't think it's fair. It's such a good beer. It's like it's just so tasty.
Yeah, sometimes we do, like, our own bias comes in and we just pick the beer that we like to drink, which shouldn't be the thing, but I'm not just doing that. I think Dan's is the best. So, Dan, you can go next.
All right. Since I can't choose my own beer, which I want to, and that's based solely on taste today. Out of the three beers that we have, I would say Cloudy and Cumbersome. I'm not a big Cloudy and Cumbersome guy. Usually, if I'm buying myself a 4-pack, I'm not buying it. Usually,
If I find it on tap, I'm hanging out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull up a chair.
but I think we kind of did like a natural progression from like the Cloudy and Cumbersome was like it was nice and like nothing. There was nothing really bitter to it. The 60-minute IPA was a little more. You get a little more of the hops, a little more of the bitterness, and then the Philly favorite just was like, oh, it was like very bitter to the point that I'm gonna begrudgingly drink the rest of the can of the beer. No offense to Iron Hill Brewery. So since I can't choose my own beer, I'm gonna go with the Dogfish Head 60-minute IPA.
All right.
Dusty?
All right.
So, we got a tie situation.
Yeah. This is I'm really feeling it now, and I'm like, I want to?
There is no way you're picking the Philly favorite IPA.
But I could convince myself that this local brewery, I mean, they're both local breweries, but this talking about a Philly favorite playing to the hometown crowd. Is it really the Iron Hill? I mean, the Cloudy and Cumbersome, like great mouthfeel, suburb of Philly, which is truly what where the starting line's from.
That's
I
where the
believe.
starting line's from.
So
They're from Bucks
Hafford?
County.
Bucks County.
Yeah.
I would. It's a tough one to me. I don't think, you can see where I was trying to go with it. No, honestly, I think this is like a first for me. I'm gonna give you guys a little insight. I think I was really going for Sly Fox, but I couldn't. I was really down to the last second. I was like, oh, Sly Fox. I was gonna do their pills.
I thought
'Cause I think
Summer Love had a chance of being this one.
Victory was on the board at first, but I think they've made a lot of presence at like the stadiums. They keep on like popping up with their Summer Love.
Can I tell you I bought 2 beers today, and I waited until the last minute to choose Cloudy and Cumbersome. I also had bought a 4-pack of Neshaminy Creek, which is a Bucks County brewery.
Another one.
Yeah.
Shape of of punk to come.
Yeah.
Or Shape of Hops to come, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But it's based. The problem is it's based off of an album from Refused, which I don't think either of you listened to. So, anyway, Dusty, proceed.
Yeah, so I kind of want to make a throw at a tie just to fuck things over, but I'm going to have to go with Cloudy and Cumbersome with this one. It's a great beer, and all in all, even I love that they refound themselves after all those after all those live albums. Like they're growing with their sound, and truly, I do think they really compose a great song. They write some really interesting songs. I think the music is really composed it really well. And this beer is it's put together so well. It has a great body to it. It's not just a great flavor, or, it's not a great price point either. But it's a delicious beer. Feels good in your mouth. Feels good going down. Tastes great. So it's gonna have to be Cloudy and Cumbersome for me, boys.
So there it is, ladies and gentlemen of the Band and Beers podcast listening database. Cloudy and Cumbersome is the starting line.
From Levante Brewing. Hopefully you can get a sponsorship from Levante Brewing. If we only knew somebody that worked for them.
If only.
Oh,
Regardless of how many you listen to, we've taped 3 of these, and now we're 1-1-1, boys.
we are.
So the next one's taking the lead. This is gonna be a big episode next. What do we?
All right, let's keep score. We need to recap the score at the beginning of every episode, I think.
Okay, well we'll keep this going forever.
That could build resentment.
A lot of resentment.
amongst us.
Yeah, we might get extremely competitive, but
It's like we can't
that
pick that
is-
beer. He's gonna get
it's
too
like,
far.
I'm not giving Dusty another win on these goddamn beers.
competition is a
But
part of our
unbiased competition.
friendship,
Is,
yes.
Yeah, that's why it's a gentleman's
Here's the
agreement.
thing,
to
guys.
pick.
We love bands. We love beers.
Yeah, Pat,
we
you get
are.
to pick the next band. Do you have any thoughts about where you're gonna go here?
Yeah. So here we are in our first episode of the Bands and Beer podcast. The starting line, Cloudy and Cumbersome, that is picked. I'm sure if we did another episode, Weezer might be Hitchino,
Yeah, it probably certainly could be.
Belgian White. If we did the Used, that would be Sour Punch kind
Flying
of beer.
Dog
Yeah.
Sour Punch.
It's sour and it's sweet.
But for our next podcast, starting line, little light,
Yeah.
little fruity.
Oh.
We got some hometown knowledge.
It's about to be spooky season. I like where you're going with this, buddy.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So maybe it needs to get a little dark.
Yes.
But maybe it shouldn't go so dark.
Oh.
Okay.
Rethink that. Go real dark.
No. Let's keep it in the genre of my favorite genre.
Peanut butter stouts.
Fast, loud, aggressive,
Chocolate stouts.
but also kind of chorusy.
A lot of pumpkin.
How about next week for the Abandoned Beers podcast, we pick a beer for a day to remember.
Ooh,
I
interesting.
like it.
All right.
All
Let
right.
me,
A day to remember.
Wow, I think that's gonna draw a lot of diverse opinions about that one.
I
That's
think
all right.
so, definitely.
I'm looking forward to that,
it.
Glenn. I hope
Yeah.
everyone else is. So that's it for me. This is Dusty Swartz. Have a great one. Everyone drink up.
Pat Zapp, Dan McHenry, everybody. Enjoy your beers.
You can have the best of me.
Abandoned Beers!